As many of you know, Amber is back. Um, and I watched both of her live streams. Honestly, um, it was a very lackluster return. And I really wasn't all that impressed with it. Um, Aunt Tammy did show up in chat, and Amber ignored her. Um, but I have some thoughts and conspiracies. So I wanted to talk about those today because I think they're actually more interesting than what Amber gave us in her live stream. In her first live stream, she was muted for a good majority of it. Nobody could hear her. We got to the second live stream and she was trying to prove to us how fast she types and that she really does type. Um, And so she took a typing test. Then she also said that she is, in fact, working during the day. However, from what she was saying, it made it sound like she is working for herself and not an actual job. She's working on a project. Who knows? Maybe she's finally writing that amazing book we've all been dying for. Um, Maybe one day we may actually do that. Um, Snowflake went through and read a lot of her works that she has posted online, and they are cringe and horrible. So we may go and listen to him read some of those one day just so that we can have a giggle. So maybe she's writing a tell all book. She then talked about a bunch of nonsense. People in her chat kept saying, if you missed us so much, why are you not talking to us for real? Why are you not telling us how your life has been, changes you've made, things that have been going on? She also made it quite clear that she's doing no vlogs whatsoever until it is time for Vlogmas. So we have 2 months of nonsense. She also said that she will not be setting a schedule for herself for live streams. She is not going to really be sticking to anything. She'll go live when she feels like going live, and she'll do so for as long as she feels necessary. This one was 29 minutes and 30 seconds long, and as people started to really push for her to give them real content, not just absolute nonsense, um, she started ignoring chat and she was like, okay, bye guys, so nice to see you, bye, bye. And that was it. She really does not care about her channel anymore, it seems, or about her audience. Um, her and Foodie both seem to be doing this at the same time, um, which, I don't really understand it since this is their main way of making income. Foodie, I really don't understand it because she's wanting to make more money. She's trying to grift more often, which means we need more people to pay attention to us. Amber, I think I have a conspiracy theory and I want to throw it out at you guys and see what you guys think. So she made the comment about Aunt Tammy, and Aunt Tammy said suing will entice. And it has. There have been papers filed, um, found out those papers were wrong, and they're going about a different way of dealing with this legally. Since that has happened, Amber has left YouTube. Um, Her views dropped drastically. She turned off all comments, which means that she's not getting a lot of interaction on her channel anymore. Um, it all things stopped that gets her a paycheck. Um, Near the end of the month, she started doing shorts. Shorts are great. However, the amount of views you have to get on your shorts to even make $1 or $2 is a bit ridiculous. It's not getting her anywhere. She is also now claiming that we are working from home. Um, but we don't know where. And if she's not actually working from home and she's working from herself, that means that there's no real income coming in. So, what I am going to propose here, what I'm going to suggest, she knows that there is a lawsuit coming. She knows that she is going to have to pay a price for what she said potentially. So, and I hate to compare it to this, but it's the closest thing that I can compare it to. You know how sometimes when there's a divorce, the non-custodial parent will go and they will quit their job because they don't want to have to pay thousands in child support, and they know that if they don't have a job or they have a minimum wage job, that it will cut down the amount of child support that they are required to pay, um, just because the state, the government, has to allow them to have money to live on. Well, if I'm only making $1,000 a month and you guys can only take, let's say, 20%, that's only $200 I'm having to pay compared to when I was making $6,000 a month, and I would have to be making a whole lot more than that, or paying a whole lot more than that. So I'm wondering if that's not the case. Are we tanking our channel? Are we cutting all of our paychecks down so that if and when we do end up in a court and they say we need you to bring in your check stubs for the last 2 months, month and a half, whatever it is, and she comes in and says, look, I only made $200. I only made $100. I only whatever. The the court could still issue a certain amount of payment, but the payment plans would be smaller. And I believe our girl is just petty enough that she would rather pay Aunt Tammy $10 a month for 45 years than to have to give her a lump sum outright, because she feels that that's, it's showing her. I'm not going to make her rich. I'm going to nickel and dime her. That's honestly what I'm wondering if what is going on here. Um, because I don't know why else Amber would be tanking her channel the way that she is. She really likes the attention, she likes the money, and she likes the lifestyle that YouTube allows her to afford. Um, I may be wrong, but this is really what I'm kind of considering. Every time I keep seeing her post these shorts and then watching her live stream and how she really treated her chat, and the fact that there was really nothing to report on. There was nothing. I mean, I don't know. If I was paying for a membership in her chat, there was nothing that would make me want to come back and pay again. There was nothing that would make me say, hey, that $5 was worth it, that whatever was worth it. It our girls, I know a lot of people think that our girls are kind of stupid and naive, and a lot of times they are. However, they are good at manipulating. They are good at working the system to get it to bend to their will and how they want it to go. And all I can think is that this is the exact same thing happening in this situation. We see it with Foodie also. Um, we are not quite seeing it with Quirky yet, but I think we're going to get there. But if these girls continue to do this to their channels, it's just going to push more people to Quirky. And honestly, I think, and a lot of people don't agree with me, I think Quirky is more problematic um, than everybody assumes she is. I think a lot of people say she's ALR 2.0. I don't think so. I think she's Foodie Jr., if you want to know the honest truth. We just have to get there and build up to that space. But it's going to push more people Quirky's direction. And honestly, when it comes to Quirky, we get regular vlogs. We get decent live streams compared to what we're getting from the other two. And we're also getting regular content when it comes to Twitter, Instagram, those kinds of things. And so Quirky really is giving us a lot when these girls aren't. So eventually, I don't think that they realize that eventually we are going to start losing interest in them and stop covering them. And they need us. They need reaction channels. Without reaction channels, they become irrelevant because nobody realizes what's going on in their world because nobody is reporting on it. I can tell you that if I don't hear anybody reporting, well, before I started my channel, if I didn't hear anybody reporting on Amber, I forgot she existed. I mean, that's just the honest truth. Same thing with Foodie. I would watch, I watched Jordy a lot for a long time, and he mainly covered Amber. And then all of a sudden he'd be like, well, Amber hasn't uploaded for 2 days. Let's do Foodie tonight. Amber's boring anyways. And he'd just start covering Foodie. And he's like, guys, this is what's happened in the last 2 months. And I'm like, what? When did this happen? How did this happen? How did I not know about this? Um, because nobody was really covering it. To be real honest, Amber bores me right now. Like, there's really nothing all that exciting going on with Amber. And I find myself watching a whole lot more of Rosie and a whole lot more of Chantal. And even with Chantal, it's starting to feel like it's the same old thing every single day. It's getting boring. It's a black screen. We're crying one minute, we're fine the next minute, and we're stuffing our face. It is the same old every single time. So honestly, at the end of the day, like, I check in on Amber and Foodie because that's what I'm supposed to do. That's what I'm here to do. But the only one whose content I'm watching all of is Rosie's. And I have other people that I am branching out into and watching their content, um, that fall within, they could be classified as girls eventually. They could be part of Girl World eventually. Because honestly, I'm just bored with what these two are putting out, and eventually it's going to catch up with them. Um, but yeah, that's my conspiracy theory on Amber. I think she's doing it on purpose, because of the court case and because of Aunt Tammy. But what do you guys think about it? Do you think that's what she's doing? Do you think she's trying to have to pay less? Um, maybe she's also doing this because she realizes that she is extremely problematic. And, the less time that she is live, the less time she's opening her mouth, the less time she has to put her foot into her mouth, and get herself in trouble. But I really do think that this has something to do with the court case that is coming up and the fact that she just doesn't want to pay for her behavior. Um, but I could be wrong. I guess only time will tell as we watch and see what happens. Um, Let me know though what you guys think about this, or what conspiracy theories you have as to why Amber and even Foodie are tanking their channels the way that they are. But until I see you again, I'm going to remind you that I need you to be good and behave yourselves. But if you can't, at least do it right, make me proud, and then post it online so we can talk about it later. Bye, guys.